All right, welcome back to Xenon Coach, State Made Visible. I'm your host, Mr. Kyle Anu, and today we're covering our P-type state reveal, or aka our story library. Now, in the previous episode, we talked about what is the stage matrix. This is what is the story library. And those two things are like mom and dad. They come together and they produce a child. And in this case, our child is called state made playable and state made coachable. But before we can get to the children, we must address the other parent. And you can't have a stage without having an expression. You can't have a D type without having a state. So the disk in the typing and then the state in the visibility, it comes through different points of life. And this is what Z9 Coach P State is all about. The P type states are stories to help you better understand who you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at the matrix. We're going to go to stage one, trust, mistrust. We already found our state. We were a D type, and then we had a DD subtype. We were healthy, but we had a little bit of overdevelopment in there. And so, what we're going to do is because this has now been selected, we're going to go down here. We're going to understand we're looking at Dante. That's our D type character. Dante, he's a dominant type of pressure. This energy or this state, it wants to take action. It wants to be in control and it wants to execute. And so, in order for us to really understand what all of those things mean, we have stories to help us understand just that. As we go ahead and find out more about Dante, we can understand a story to help us really tap into the pressures so we can say, oh, that sounds familiar. And in this case, we can understand the D type expression in that overdeveloped state through this story called The Key Nobody Could Find. Take the time to read this because at the end of each story, we're going to give you the understanding of the pressure. This state that's made visible is the pressure that we can all experience. This is what makes us human, but humans change and we can identify those changes. This helps us see what can be identified and what could change. We make the state visible. We have a clue as to how that made the state visible. We have a turning point or the climax so we can understand what state is changing. We have healthy movement or a real life pop quiz from of practice. And then we have a regulation moment, a point to where we can see that this person is actually changing. What makes it so important though, the visibility, is that these things present themselves over life in 9 different ways. In the case of Dante in this story, the identity and the social learning are the two lenses that this person uses in order to know how to stop surveillance in the room. Now, this is what is the P type story library. I'm Mr. Kyle Anu, and this is Xenon Coach. And next time, we'll tell you a little bit more about these states made playable. All right. See you next time. And as always, thank you for being a solution. I'm Mr. Kyle Anu. Peace.